Welcome back. Let's get more now on the French election result, which saw Emmanuel Macron beat his far-right challenger Marine Le Pen and become the first French president for 2 decades to win a second term. Joining me now from Paris is Max Bégon, National Rally's UK representative. Very good afternoon to you. My first question is what you think follows over the next 5 years. President Macron said last night, quote, "I'm not the candidate of one camp anymore. I'm the president of all of us." Despite, of course, not getting the result you wanted last night, do you welcome that rhetoric from President Macron?
Good afternoon. I think, unfortunately, Emmanuel Macron has a track record of not really following up on the statements he made, and we've seen this over the last 5 years. I think what's going to be really important is the legislative elections coming up in June. If Emmanuel Macron does get a majority, basically we'll be able to proceed with his program without any obstruction. If we manage to prevent that, then we'll be able to control the damage, I guess, for the next 5 years. And so, yeah, we are really focused on these upcoming legislative elections with the hope of getting a lot more MPs in parliament and having them able to control the action of the Macron government.
And it seems, obviously, those parliamentary elections are quite soon, that Marine Le Pen will remain as the figurehead for your party until then. What about after that? Do you think she'll fight another presidential election?
So as early as 1 week ago, she said she wouldn't run for another presidential election. And I think that's the most likely option. However, situation might evolve. I'm not aware of any change since she made that statement, but 5 years is a long time, so we'll have to see what happens.
What do you make of the broader state of French politics and obviously the terrible failure of the two traditional parties, the Republicans and the Socialist Party, and again, you know, the relative success in the first round of Eric Zemmour and just the broad division that seems to exist there, and whether, in fact, another new party can form itself altogether ahead of the next presidential elections?
Yeah, we have seen really the emergence of three forces, the far left of Mr. Mélenchon, Emmanuel Macron's centrist globalist party, and then us. I guess the old left-right divide is not relevant anymore because really the people who are voting for the National Rally are working class, you know, at an age before pension and after being students, so really say 25 to 55, and also mostly on the countryside. So it's really not the traditional voting base of our party, and I believe this recomposition is a long-term positive because it just aligns the ideas to the voters in the sense that you had this socialist party that was getting a working class vote without really carrying working class politics, and you had this right-wing conservative party that was not really right-wing. And so I think it really makes sense that they collapsed because they were not in phase with their electorate, so they just lost their relevance.
I know which direction you would like to see it go, but what do you expect to happen in terms of the amount of increased or decreased centralization of the European Union over the next 5 years?
Well, with Macron, Mr. Macron being in power, it's likely that there will be more centralization. However, given the way the EU operates, where you need usually not just a majority, but you need each country to agree to major changes. And when we have countries like Hungary or Poland, which are not happy with any further integration, and also Germany, that is always quite conservative on fiscal integration. I think even if Macron has a lot of, he really wants more integration, it doesn't mean it will necessarily happen just because of the way the European Union is working. And if on top of that, it doesn't get parliamentary majority, and I think the Mélenchon party is not really in favor of further European integration either. It's unlikely he will be able to push through French Parliament, further European integration.
Max Bégon, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Police searching for a missing woman in Burnley in Lancashire have arrested a